look, Jay Z and them was putting it together. Mm-hmm. So I think they still harbor some energy towards me.
Everyone thinks they know Jay Z and Beyoncé, but what if the truth behind their empire is darker than anyone imagines? Tonight, I am about to reveal whispers, secrets, and claims that could change everything you believe about the Carters. Are they untouchable, or hiding a storm that could finally unravel their reign?
It seems the picture-perfect image of Beyoncé and Jay-Z's marriage might be cracking at the edges. And 50 Cent has wasted no time sharing his thoughts. Whispers of tension grew louder after Jay-Z delivered an unusual speech at this year's Grammys, where he referred to Beyoncé simply as this young lady. The remark shifted the atmosphere, with many noticing Beyoncé's uneasy expression, which only added fuel to the speculation surrounding their relationship.
But what I've heard about them as a couple is that they've been living separate lives for a very long time. So they together, but they live in separate.
These whispers are hardly a recent development. Ever since Jay-Z openly acknowledged his past unfaithfulness, Beyoncé's presence and the way she carries herself in public have taken on a noticeably different tone. Behind the curtain, insiders in the industry suggest that Jay-Z may soon find himself under the spotlight in the same way Diddy recently did, facing potentially damaging revelations. If such truths were to surface, the fallout could be immense, impacting not only Jay-Z's personal reputation but also the carefully crafted image Beyoncé has worked tirelessly to uphold. The ripple effect could reshape how the world views one of music's most powerful and influential couples.
And energy, internationally, in 50 Cent and Jay-Z. In fact, his largest selling record sold 430-something thousand copies. My largest selling records, plural, 2 of them sold 5 million. That's Get Rich or Die Trying and Massacre. You know, so it's a huge difference in who we are with each other internationally. Let them be fooled in America and think there's a competition there, because America can be purchased.
50 Cent has now inserted himself directly into the debate, unleashing a bold new claim about what truly goes on inside the Carter household. According to these allegations, Jay-Z exerts a tight grip over Beyoncé's life, reportedly using substances as a tool of control while keeping watch over nearly every move she makes. This accusation forces an unsettling question into the spotlight. Is Beyoncé trapped in this dynamic as a victim, or does she knowingly play a role in the controversies surrounding her husband? For years, Jay-Z and Beyoncé embodied the image of an untouchable power couple, brushing aside criticism as nothing more than jealousy or baseless hate. Yet, that polished exterior is now showing undeniable fractures. In recent months, more and more industry insiders have stepped forward with troubling stories about the pair's alleged private conduct. Leading the charge is 50 Cent, who insists he has concrete evidence implicating both Jay-Z and Beyoncé. His claims even stretch to suggest the two may be tied to misconduct on the same scale as the serious allegations that have engulfed Diddy. That, if ever proven, could rewrite how the world perceives their legacy. To fully understand the weight of this moment, it helps to remember that 50 Cent and Jay-Z's feud is not new. Their rivalry traces back more than 20 years. Sparked in 1999 when 50 Cent fired lyrical shots at Jay in his track, How to Rob, Jay-Z quickly fired back with the now iconic line in It's Hot Some, Like It Hot, I'm about $1. What? The underscore is 50 Cent. Since then, the tension has never truly cooled, making these latest accusations feel less like random gossip and more like the latest chapter in a long-running war.
You can look at that and say the association to Beyonce is when he started to receive the 16, 17 Grammys since he's been with Beyonce, right? And you go prior to that, 1.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that came in association, like you see, their kids even have Grammys. Like they don't sing yet. They don't sing.
Right.
They don't rap yet. And they already have Grammys.
You know what I mean? You got certain guys that are, their relationships made them so powerful.
By 2002, Jay-Z sat down with Angie Martinez and publicly insisted that things between him and 50 Cent were fine. Yet, away from the cameras, the tension never truly dissolved. Jay was rumored to keep slipping in subtle digs, while 50 fired back by accusing him of essentially buying his way into hip-hop dominance. Their conflict escalated as 50 began pointing to what he described as Jay's God complex, a mindset that rubbed many in the industry the wrong way. In a 2009 interview with Rolling Stone, 50 did not hold back, declaring, "He has a king complex. He thinks he's Jesus, he's Jehovah." That same conversation saw 50 accuse Jay Z of betraying former Rockefeller artists like Beyoncé, suggesting that the so-called family label was nothing more than a cover for Jay's self-serving business moves. And 50 was not the only one with this perspective. Over the years, others within the industry have echoed the belief that Jay Z's rise was paved by stepping over countless others to cement his place at the top. The criticism did not stop there. Beyoncé's rumored former bodyguard, Uncle Ron, went viral on TikTok after alleging that both Jay Z and Beyoncé were responsible for derailing the careers of multiple artists. According to him, their marriage is less about romance and more about a multi-million-dollar partnership designed to protect their empire. Adding to the controversy, former Rockefeller affiliate Jaguar Wright, who once sang backup for JSI, made her own explosive claims. She suggested that figures close to Jay, including the late rapper Big L, either met untimely ends under suspicious circumstances or saw their careers unexpectedly collapse. Even Beyoncé has not been immune to dark accusations. Over the years, she has been accused of dabbling in witchcraft and making so-called sacrifices, claims made not by random outsiders, but by people who allegedly worked alongside her for years.
And control me. You get what I'm saying? They can control Shaq. They can control Charles Barkley. They can control LeBron James. They can control Jay Z and Beyoncé.
But not you, man.
But they can't control me, right? Dr. Dre, his son. You're out in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing. Feels like it might be a lot of that in order to control, traumatize. They want to monetize and traumatize.
In 2018, Beyoncé's former drummer Kimberly Thompson shocked fans by accusing her of practicing extreme witchcraft, even going so far as to file for a restraining order. Soon after, Kanye West added his voice to the storm, making his own striking claims. Kanye argued that both Beyoncé and Jay Z were under the sway of powerful elite figures, pointing to a troubling pattern in Hollywood where people closely tied to major stars often turn up dead, fade mysteriously from the spotlight, or suffer devastating setbacks. More recently, Beyoncé's longtime dance captain, Ashley Everett, stirred speculation when she was caught liking a string of posts that portrayed Queen Bey in a questionable light. One post even accused Beyoncé of producing demonic music, referencing a viral speech by poet Jackie Hill Perry, who claimed that artists like Beyoncé are being used as instruments to push a hidden, sinister agenda. Meanwhile, 50 Cent has not let up on his criticism of the Carters. He even recalled a personal encounter with Beyoncé during his feud with Jay Z, describing her approach as so unsettling it felt as though she was in an altered state of mind. To this day, it is clear that 50 has no desire to reconcile, continuing to frame the couple as individuals who prioritize business power above everything else. In fact, during a recent interview on Big Boy TV, 50 alleged that Jay Z once attempted to use his NFL connections to block him from performing at the 2022 Super Bowl halftime show. According to 50, Eminem quickly shut down the move, reportedly telling organizers there would be no halftime performance at all unless 50 Cent was included. And the fire did not stop there. When 50 Cent later appeared on The Beat with Ari Melber, the conversation turned to Billboard's controversial ranking that crowned Jay Z as the greatest rapper of all time. 50 strongly hinted that DJ's spot at #1 was less about lyrical dominance and more about strategic business maneuvering behind the scenes.
The whole thing, like, he was like,
wait,
yo,
who,
you know,
you and 50 Cent?
yeah, you know, I put a, I respect your record. Yeah, I like that record. It was hot. But you know I gotta spank you dogs. That was the conversation. No doubt, do your thing.
Right. They were till the time.
The idea that influence and connections outweigh raw artistry has only intensified the debate. Now, new whispers within the industry suggest Beyoncé and Jay-Z's marriage may be hanging by a thread. Multiple sources claim Beyoncé could be preparing for what might become the most high-profile divorce the music world has ever seen. Adding even more complexity, rumors are circulating that Jay-Z's longtime ally Diddy may be plotting revenge by exposing secrets Jay has kept buried for decades. Insiders say Beyoncé is quietly creating distance before any revelations surface, especially if public opinion begins framing Jay as Diddy 2.0, fueling the speculation further. Past allegations about Jay Z's rumored affair with Kathy White have resurfaced, dragging old conversations back into the spotlight. Week after week, both new claims and long-forgotten scandals keep re-emerging, painting an increasingly shadowed picture of the Carters' empire. This raises a pressing question: could Beyoncé be laying the groundwork for an exit strategy? Some believe it is possible. Yet, while their marriage has long been seen as a carefully calculated business arrangement, many argue Beyoncé would never risk dismantling her own empire unless Jay's reputation became completely irredeemable. On the other hand, there are those who believe she may never walk away at all, since leaving could open her up to accusations of having been complicit in her husband's alleged misdeeds. And perhaps this is exactly what 50 Cent hinted at when he suggested Jay-Z hides behind Beyoncé's image, using her global influence as a shield against full public backlash. But the story only grows darker as murmurs continue to spread about how deep this alleged empire of power and influence truly runs well beyond music, and possibly far more dangerous than most fans have ever imagined.
Going on since 2006, and it's just been getting worse and worse and worse. And for a very long time, I put this person on a pedestal. I loved them. I'd send emails, publicly, happy birthday and all this stuff. And the entire time, this person was casting spells and manipulating me and controlling my job situations, my relationships, just all.
According to insiders, Jay-Z's influence stretches far beyond the boundaries of music. His network reportedly weaves into politics, corporate sponsorships, major media outlets, and even law enforcement. This intricate web, they argue, is what prevents damaging stories from gaining momentum, allowing his public persona to remain polished and untouchable. Some accounts go as far as to claim that anyone, whether an artist, journalist, or industry insider who dares to challenge the Carters often finds themselves cut off from vital resources, blacklisted from key stages, or drowned in legal threats. Those who once attempted to speak out either fell silent or watched their careers fade under mysterious circumstances. At the same time, Beyoncé's role in this alleged power machine is attracting growing scrutiny, while countless fans still see her as an untouchable cultural icon. Skeptics are beginning to question whether her massive global platform has been used not only to elevate her own artistry but also to help shield and protect the couple's empire from potential threats. For years, Beyoncé's carefully curated image has been celebrated as flawless. But some argue this very perfection is a sign of just how controlled and calculated everything around her has become. With 50 Cent and other outspoken critics refusing to retreat, pressure is building toward a breaking point. Insiders warn that it may only take one leaked document, one whistleblower, or one public betrayal for the carefully constructed empire to unravel. If that moment arrives, the impact would ripple far beyond the music industry, potentially reshaping how the public perceives its most celebrated stars. Whispers are growing louder about an approaching industry reckonings, something insiders describe as a domino effect that could topple not just the Carters, but several other powerful figures who have long remained untouchable behind closed doors. Discussions are already happening among artists who feel they have been silenced, manipulated, or pushed aside. For them, the idea of speaking out has always been dangerous. But the climate may finally be shifting. The comparison to a domino effect is striking. The Carters, as some describe, are not isolated figures, but part of a broader ecosystem of power in the entertainment world. If one piece of the puzzle is exposed, others may begin to fall. The fear in elite circles is that once a single testimony or document is made public, it could encourage others long afraid of the consequences to step forward and confirm what many have suspected for years. Some industry veterans warn that the situation resembles the unraveling of other powerful moguls who once seemed untouchable. The #MeToo movement, for example, showed how quickly public opinion can shift when enough voices come together. Many believe that if similar momentum builds against the Carters, it could permanently alter how celebrity power is understood in modern culture. Adding to the tension is the belief that the fallout would not remain confined to music. Sponsorship deals, media partnerships, and even political alliances could be jeopardized. Jay-Z's connections in business and politics are vast, and any scandal of this magnitude would inevitably shake confidence in those who once backed him. The same goes for Beyoncé, whose global brand depends heavily on her image as a symbol of empowerment, artistry, and integrity. For now, the Carters remain silent, their empire outwardly intact, but the whispers persist. Insiders claim that behind the polished smiles and billion-dollar ventures lies a deep fear, that the day of reckoning may already be closer than anyone is willing to admit. Reports from insiders suggest that sealed, legal documents, private communications, and even unreleased footage exist evidence that could uncover years of secret deals, sabotaged careers, and quiet payouts. The fear among elite circles is that if even a single piece of this material leaks, it could spark an avalanche too overwhelming for any PR team to contain. Allegedly, major media outlets have already been offered huge sums to stay silent, while powerful figures behind the scenes are pressuring potential whistleblowers into retracting their statements or disappearing altogether. Some claim this pattern has been in play since 2006, only growing darker with time. One former associate recalled how they once idolized Beyoncé, publicly wishing her happy birthdays and sending messages of support only to later feel manipulated, controlled, and sabotaged in both personal and professional spaces. Behind closed doors, lawyers are reportedly on standby, NDAs are being reinforced, and key witnesses are under watch. But the stakes have never been higher. This is no longer just about music. It is about money, influence, and the carefully guarded reputation of a billion-dollar empire. With 50 Cent continuing to drop pointed hints and former allies turning into critics, the real question is not if the truth will surface, but when and who will have the courage to be the first to go on record. If that moment comes, the Carter dynasty could face an unraveling that no endorsement, award, or industry favor could repair. According to insiders, several artists are preparing to step forward, potentially forming a united front to expose years of alleged manipulation, blackballing, and intimidation. Industry veterans note that it is rare for powerhouses of this scale to be publicly challenged, but if enough credible voices align, the fallout could reshape award shows, brand partnerships, and even the operations of major record labels. Legal trouble also looms in the conversation, with growing comparisons between Jay Z and other moguls recently exposed. Should investigators decide to dig deeper into past contracts, business dealings, or personal connections, the results could be catastrophic for the Carters' empire. Whispers suggest that long-buried incidents involving both Jay Z and Beyoncé may soon resurface, everything from royalty disputes to behind-the-scenes manipulations at award shows, to the quiet shelving of promising artists. The portrait being drawn is not merely of two stars who rose through talent, but of a duo who allegedly mastered the art of controlling narratives, silencing critics, and protecting their dominance at all costs. If these alleged revelations gain traction, the image of Beyoncé and Jay Z as cultural icons could shift dramatically to one of powerful gatekeepers accused of exploiting their reach. For many watching, the question now stretches beyond divorce rumors. Can the foundation of their shared legacy survive under the weight of what may soon be exposed? Some fans are already blunt in their views. One declared, "Jay is a monster, and Beyoncé is the monster's right hand." Others urge people to take these warnings seriously, arguing that the celebrities the world idolizes are not who they appear to be. Still more insist Beyoncé is far from innocent, claiming she knew about both Jay-Z's and Diddy's alleged actions and chose silence. Now, with divorce rumors swirling, skeptics argue the timing feels less like conscience and more like calculated damage control. So the ultimate question remains, would Beyoncé truly cut ties with Jay-Z, or is she too deeply invested in the empire they built together to ever walk away? What do you think? Is this the beginning of the Carters' unraveling, or just another wave of rumors they will outlast? Drop your thoughts below. And if this deep dive opened your eyes, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next breakdown of the industry's hidden truths.